Во уметничката дејност на оперскиот режисер DJan Karlo del Monako, добитник на бројни награди и признанија, се забележани соработките со најзначајните оперски куќи во светски рамки. На покана на својот пријател и колега, Игор Дурловски, тој ја постави на сцената на МОП најпопуларната опера на Пучини Турандот. За мене ова е прва соработка со македонската опера, но не и прв престој во Скопје, вели DJan Karlo del Monako.
When I was 24, I was having a trip through ex-Yugoslavia and my car broke in Skopje. Volkswagen Cabrio. Came here because I was going to Athens, and in Skopje we repaired it. Well, it was a very positive experience. We worked very well with a very, very good chorus. They gave a lot of energy and concentration for this production. It was very good. And Igor Durlovsky called me to come here and open the first production of his general management, because Turandot is the opening of his intendants. And I was very happy to come here, and because I'm very curious to know all the situation of the theaters in ex-Yugoslavia, Zagreb, Belgrade, Skopje, you know. And so I'm very thankful to be here and to make my experience in Skopje. We try to take the level higher, because this theater is a theater who can have his level much higher, and I think with Maestro Martinenghi and with all the energy of the theater, we did a good job. You know, the production is a Chinese fairy tale. The Chinese fairy tale coming from an Italian dramaturg called Gozzi. Gozzi, you have another Turandot, also the Turandot of Busoni, the composer Busoni. So the idea is to mix tragedy and comedy, because we have Ping Pong Pang as comediant, and you have the tragedy in the background. This is very similar to the Greek tragedy, where you have highly dramatic situation and also comic situation, as life basically is. You know, somebody can die and somebody can laugh. This is tragicomic of the life, and we try to put this idea on stage with masks play and with good regie and good relation on stage. And the chorus is very important, because they are basically in the Greek tragedy the chorus, and here they move as participating to the action and observing the action, both. And this is the first time I do Turandot like that, and I made here the general rehearsal because we will do it again for the opening of the Festival of Macau in China, and I wanted to try it before to go to Macau, and we tried here. In Macau we have much more money, but it's not necessary to have much more money for this production.
Делата на Пучини се секогаш инспиративни за мноштво толкувања. Тие на еден суптилен начин ја разоткриваат суштината и промислувањата на животот. Во Турандот се обидов да се задржам на театралното чувство на грчката трагедија со кинеска заднина, додава Del Monako.
Puccini is an incredible composer. You know, our biggest composer in the modern time is Verdi Puccini. They wrote the most important operas of the Italian repertoire, and I like all Puccini. I did a lot of Puccini. I did Puccini in the Metropolitan New York. I did Puccini in Berlin, Hamburg, Munich. So I consider myself not an expert of Puccini, but somebody who loves very much the music and the operas of Puccini. So, Turandot is the last piece of Puccini. You know, Puccini doesn't finish to compose the piece. With the death of you, Puccini dies by throat cancer in Brussels. He couldn't stand the operation and he died. He was pretty young. And the finale has been composed by Alfano, another composer, on the skizzen, on the notice that Puccini left. And so there is a cut in the opera that we also put on stage. In the finale of Puccini, when Puccini dies, we stop the action, we take a big picture of Puccini, we put it on stage, and with the picture of Puccini on stage, we finish the piece.
DJan Karlo del Monako е син на светски познатиот тенор Марио del Monako. Важна е поддршката на родителите во секој случај, но во мојот, фактот дека татко ми беше навистина големо име во оперската уметност, значеше и голема одговорност, вели DJan Karlo del Monako.
My father was one of the greatest tenors in the history of singing, a huge personality, a man, a beautiful man with a very intensive stage acting, feeling. And I never had complex concerning my father. Many people say, oh, my mother was so famous, oh, I didn't. For me, it was never a problem. It was only a very strong help that I had from my father, psychologically help, to believe in my work. And this is, for me, the most important thing. I worked with my father in the beginning of my career. Now I am 72, but I have 50 years career, so my father died in 82. The first 10 years I did it with my father, and after that I went to Germany and worked 35 years in Germany, and then all over around the world. United States, Sydney, Stockholm, to South Africa. So I have to say that the name of my father was for me never a problem. Never. But never 1 second in my life. And I tell you, I know a lot of sons of important personalities, they suffer under the big name of their father. I don't have. I never had this problem. Go my way. And this is what I did.
Мојот татко беше голем пријател на Тито и имав можност уште како дете често да патувам низ поранешна Југославија. Моите сеќавања и денес се свежи за тоа нивно пријателство, вели DJan Karlo del Monako.
Tito was a big personality and he loved my father very much as a singer. So my father has been invited a few times, to Belgrade, Brioni, in summer, and Zagreb, and my father was a little bit the big passion of many politicos. For example, from Khrushchev. Khrushchev loved my father, gave my father the Lenin Order, and Tito gave to my father two things: the Commendatore of the Yugoslavian Republic. It's a big medal that we have home. And he gave to my father an island near Brioni. He gave 3 islands, Tito. My father, Liz Taylor, and Sofia Loren, because he wanted near Brioni to have important personalities to open a certain kind of tourism, artistical tourism, etc. And when I was young, I met Tito, and I even was on the Blue Train. Because one time my father should, from Belgrade, leave with a Yugoslavensk Aerotransport plane. He has to go to Munich after a performance for Tito in Belgrade. And the plane was not in good condition. So Tito said, oh, don't worry, we take my train. And he brought us to the Italian borders. So Tito was, let's say, a person that in the life of my father was a big admirer, and in a very difficult time, because it was the beginning of the end of the Cold War. So my father went to Moscow first time. It was the first time he got to Moscow after the Iron Wall, curtain. And after that, Tito invited my father. Well, my father told me, listen, for the first production, I help you. But for the rest, you have to be good, because my help doesn't help. Because my father said, listen, I can open you a door, but if you're not good, the door will close very fast. And for that reason, I decided to go and study to Germany. And I did 2/3 of my career in Germany. I was also general manager 2 times in Germany. And I was also general manager in Spain, in Italy, and in France. And tell you again, I was completely free. My father was a big personality. It was dangerous to stay too near to him, because he was like a big tree, with big shadows. And if you want to take your own son, you have to go. So this is what I did. And my father appreciated very much that I choose to go my way in a very strong decision, and it was okay to me. But my father and my mother were my first admirers and the first person that pushed me. I will never forget that.
Знаете, успехот на професионален план е исклучително важен, вели тој, но тој е комплетен кога е во сооднос со она што го исполнува вашиот приватен живот и радоста во него.
My children, I have 4 daughters. For 3 marriages, 4 daughters. And now I have my wife is a Croatian, Hrvatska soprano, Lana Kos from Zagreb. She will come here to the premiere, and we have a very good life, and I feel very good. And I am 72, but believe me, I don't feel on myself 72. I feel maximum 50. And I think we are not more so young. We should always be together with young people around to keep you energetic.
Сведоци сме на бројни немери и човечки судбини исполнети со тага и солзи. Многу често се прашувам колку нештата ќе беа поинакви, доколку имаше барем минимум диалог меѓу политиката и културата. И во која мера културата се исполитизира, вели DJan Karlo del Monako.
I believe that in the world we don't have enough culture. We should have much more culture, because each time you open the television or you read the newspaper, you see only about disaster. And those disasters are many times done by people without culture, with people which are a little bit ignorant about culture. Culture can make the human beings better and more reflexive, more interested on the positive side of the life. For that reason, those composers, those big musicians that exist, they are here for everybody to make them better. And this is what I try to do in my work.